What's up, everyone? How are you? I just wanted to do a quick check in with you guys to see how you're doing on your singleness journey. Because I know if you're fearful avoidant or if you're dating somebody who's fearful avoidant, it can be tough. And being single can be really tough. I think as women and men, I think most men and women want to be married someday, but getting there can be really challenging because we have to work through our junk. We have to try to find the right person. And sometimes you meet somebody and on paper they're the right person, but you're like, why isn't there chemistry? Or you find the right person and they don't want to get married, or they're fearful avoidant and they're tapping into their avoidant side and they're running from it. So it's hard. It is really hard. And sometimes I like to take a moment for us to just be honest instead of politically correct, because I think politically correct would be, I'm fine with being single. I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. And maybe you feel that way. And if you do, that's great. I'm glad that you have reached that point in your life. But I think for most people, one of the best things about living on earth is finding a companion, because it's how we are biologically wired, is to be with another person. But that doesn't mean that it's as easy as we dream of it being. It's not as fairy tale laced as we picture in our minds. So we are on this journey together to try to figure out what can we do while we are single to make it okay. I would say, even if statistics say that it's hard to find a mate for various reasons, who wants to just give into that statistic and say, okay, I raise my hand, I volunteer, I'll be one of those statistics? I think you have no choice but to keep trying and keep learning and keep growing and keep dreaming and keep figuring out ways to heal and get better, like we're doing with our fearful avoidance journey that we are trying to take so that we can heal. Because we know that our anxious side gets in the way. We meet somebody and we start freaking out and we get nervous and we feel like they're going to leave and I got to be perfect. Or if I'm too triggered, I go to the avoidant side and I start trying to run away and retreat, and I can't take it. I'm too overwhelmed. And so I can't get this right because I've got all these internal things fighting against me. So I would say while you are single, it can be really rewarding to work through as much as you can of your junk and heal from it. Some of it is still going to come up when you get with your person. There's only so much healing you can do without that person. But if you can practice and you can work at it, and if you have a hot temper, really trying to work on being more patient. If you have a hard time with when you're in a relationship with allowing that person to tell you their truth, if you get your feelings hurt really easily, then you might want to work on, okay, let me practice with other people with letting them tell me their truth without it hurting my feelings to the point that I retreat to my avoidant side and run away. Let me practice sticking in there when my feelings get hurt or it's really tough. Or you feel very nervous, really anxious at the thought of getting married. What are some things you can do to work at it? And I'd say there are things you can do. There are things, because your energy can be channeled. Because that nervous, I want to be married, I hate being single, this feels so bad, I don't like it, that is our truth, right? That's most people's truth, is they don't like it. They want to find their special person. They want to be loved. They want to feel love the way they need to feel loved. And they want to give love and they want to be successful at it. But I've heard so many examples lately of people who are married who are so miserable and they're stuck and they can't get out of that stuckness for whatever reason. So we want to work on bettering our skills and learning, okay, how do you deal with a person if they're fearful avoidant and they go into avoidant mode and they're stonewalling? You want to know, okay, what is it that's upsetting you? What's hurting you? Sometimes as a fearful avoidant, I have gone into modes and somebody has come and pulled me out of it. And I'm so thankful for that because I didn't know how. Like they may be the one to come and say, hey, I'm sorry if I hurt you. Let's say you have a guarantee that you're going to get married. What advice would you give to your single self? What would you tell yourself? I think I would say I want to have a long-lasting, healthy, happy relationship. Am I guaranteed that? No, it might not work that way. But if I can work at it right now, what would I do? I know one of my weaknesses is I don't like first dates and I will sabotage it if I can because I'm terrified. I'm terrified of all the possibilities, terrified of conversation, terrified of being nervous, terrified of just getting through it, terrified of talking on the phone and showing one side of myself, but being so scared that I can hardly talk. And what I would tell myself now about that is when you go on a date, it's okay to tell the person to take a risk and say, I don't like first dates. You're going to have to help me through this because I feel really nervous and I don't want to feel nervous. I want to feel excited to meet you because I think you're so amazing and I'm enjoying getting to know you over the phone. But I'm just telling you, I'm probably going to be terrified. I think for me, that shows growth. And yes, the person might say, oh, that's so stupid. That's so dumb. That doesn't make any sense to me. They might say that, but that would also let me know about that person. Because if someone were to tell me, I hate first dates, if a guy said, I hate first dates, man, it's just not my cup of tea. Let's do something simple so that we can get in and get out and then think it through and just kind of have a moment. I would be okay with that. I would respect that. I would rather somebody tell me their truth than to just disappear because they have no clue that I'm struggling with that and I could miss out on a great person. I think a guy, like a great guy, would run with that. Like, oh, she's going to be nervous. I'm going to have fun with this. I'm going to step up my game. I'm going to do everything I can to make her feel okay. I might bring her some flowers. I might bring her some chocolates. I'm going to hold the door open for her. I've got some jokes ready. It's okay to prepare. Everybody feels like they just have to totally wing things. You do not. You can prepare. You can write down some things that you want to talk about. We have phones now. You're on a dinner date, you can hide your phone under the table with a couple of questions or things that you'd like to talk about. It's okay to do that. What things can you do to prepare for your singleness? I think it's tough. I wrote a book called Flip the Script on Love, and I talk about this. I don't think I talk about being afraid of first dates because I was too humiliated and embarrassed to say that. But I wish I had have said it. But I did talk about some things that you can do while you're single. And I also said it's not the same as being in the relationship. Nothing compares to being in a relationship. Remember, we're trying to be honest here. about how we really feel and not lie to ourselves, because you already know the truth. Hanging out with your friends or crafting or joining a choir or a sports team, those things all feel great. But when you really want to be married and have children, nothing is going to completely satisfy you, but you can do some things to help yourself. And not only that, but doing those things might connect you to your right person. So I would say you got to keep trying. That's what I would tell myself. You got to keep trying. It's tough. It's hard. It's challenging. It's not easy. There are so many things that make dating so difficult, but we all got to keep trying so that we can find each other. Cuz I don't want my person to give up because he thinks that this is too hard. I want him to keep moving towards me. I want him to pray for me. I want to pray for him. So that's something you can do. You can pray for your person and you can make a list of things that you like and you can start preparing for it. A lot of women these days relate to Esther. They dream of being Esther in the Bible. I remember, believe it or not, this guy at a church that I was new to. I don't go to that church anymore, but they had a guy who was a prophet there. And he looked at me and said, "You are an Esther and you are a Deborah." And I was like, who is Esther and who is Deborah? But it made me read my Bible, and years later, everybody wants to be an Esther. There are so many people on the on YouTube who call themselves Esther. And I believe that whoever's listening to this video, I bet you are an Esther. And if you're a guy, you might be a Joseph and you might be a David. So I know there are special, wonderful qualities about you. And I think a fun thing for you to do, and you don't have to, but I just think it's more fun when you're feeling a little down because you don't have what it is that you want. I think it could be a lot of fun to prepare for it. Like, what do you want? Like, explore fashion, explore what colors look good on me. If you're scared of makeup, wouldn't it be fun to wear makeup when you meet him? Maybe that's a place where you feel a lot of fear, like a lot of women feel afraid of makeup, and I get it. But now you have time to practice. You got time to do that Esther treatment, like what they did in the Bible. Like the Bible even talks about women preparing for this amazing man and doing treatments. Like, I can't remember, but so what can you do? Is there a face routine that you can do? Moisturizing your face or discovering different routines that work for you? Can you get a new hairstyle or wear different hairstyles to see what hairstyle looks best on you? Everybody can get weaves now. Everybody can wear wigs. You can change it up no matter who you are, no matter your ethnicity. You can try those things on or go to a hairstylist and get a new hair color, experiment, see what looks good on you, and just enjoy feeling and being beautiful. Because I think part of the fun of a relationship is being attractive. It's okay to be attractive and be at your best and have fun doing it. So practice with your dress style. Practice with, there's a show called Pop the Balloon. I don't know if you've watched it. It is a really hot show on YouTube. So much so that Netflix has purchased it, or now they have a version on Netflix that's by completely different people, but they purchased it, I guess, paid the original people to do it on Netflix as a kind of a separate thing, but the same concept. And a lot of the people, when they're on there, as shallow as this may sound, they often say, "I don't like the way you're dressed. I don't like your hairstyle. And I know that's so mean and shallow. But at the same time, relationships are about being attracted physically. Otherwise, you could just be a friend. So work on being attractive. What is it about your personality that you can work on? Yes, you can be yourself. I'm not saying to change who you are, because the person who wants to be with you is going to love your personality. However, we have to still learn how to get along with this person that we're going to live with for the rest of our lives. So if you have jerk behavior, I'm being silly, but some people do. I mean, there has been a time in my life when I feel like I had jerk behavior, honestly, because I thought you were supposed to argue. I thought that intensified romance. I mean, being a fearful avoidant, there's going to be some confusion there about how you're supposed to act, what you're supposed to do. I thought I was supposed to say, I'm not putting up with that. I don't know who you think you are. You don't have to do all that. So, can you look at some of your flaws and figure out, okay, how can I be better at that? And what are some things that you don't mind doing? And what are some things that you would hate doing? Like, I hate putting dishes away. I don't mind washing dishes. I hate putting them away. What chores do you like and which ones do you hate? Do you think that you could compromise on some things with your mate? Do you know your love language? Can you explore that while you're waiting? Can you explore all of them in case your husband or wife to be likes a love language that you hate? Can you challenge yourself to develop a tolerance for that love language? When you meet your the one, and I believe you are, I really, really believe that you are. I do. I think it's coming. I'm going to believe it with you. And you're fearful avoidant, or that person is fearful avoidant. How can you work on that? I will tell you honestly, there are moments that I have when I do like being single, because I feel like I will be so freaked out, not like connecting with someone. It's super scary. In my head, it feels super romantic and super exciting and fun and perfect. But when I think about actually like closing the deal, I don't know what happens. There's something, a scary feeling that comes over me. But that's that fearful avoidant. It's like I'm miserable with it, miserable without it. So I know that's an area that I need to work on. How I'm going to work on it, I don't know. I think it helps understanding this part of myself. I think if you're a guy, it will help you to understand that your woman is going to want to be married, and she is not going to want to wait forever, because more than likely she's going to want to have kids, and there is a biological clock attached to that, like it or not. And I've heard people say things like, it doesn't matter what they say, we're going to be the exception, we're going to pray about it. Bottom line is, why would you take that risk? You don't want to do that. So she's going to want to get married sooner rather than later. So if you know that you fear marriage, then I would really encourage you to work on that, because you're not going to feel good not being able to give her that, especially if you really love her and you want her to be happy. She's not going to be happy not being married to you unless she doesn't really love you. But if she really loves you, she's going to want the gift of being married to you, the gift of having your last name, the gift of enjoying life together. And that's what I would tell myself too, that you're thinking all these thoughts about how terrible it's going to be. What if it feels really special and fun? And how can I make things special and fun for that person when I'm married to them? So if you're terrified of marriage, You got to start working on that now. And also, if you meet somebody and you know they're not the one, I would say, please, even if you're getting benefits of it, like intimacy, guys, that you are loving, please let her know that you're not interested and walk away. Like, let her go. Be that kind of person. Please do not marry someone and this is not, I'm not gonna be happy with this person, but they're bugging me, get married, please marry me. Please don't do that. That is not gonna be good for you or for her. And please don't hold on to her because you're getting benefits right now. Let her go as soon as you can. Even if she's kicking and screaming, find the courage to say, no, I want you to find somebody that you love and that you can be happy with. Don't drag somebody along knowing that women want to be married and you're not there yet. Let her go and tell her, you know what? I'm going to go work on myself. And I want you to try to find somebody that you can be happy with. And maybe, who knows, months from now, years from now, when I've worked through my issues, maybe we'll find each other again. But go do you. Free that person. You're going to be blessed for doing that. I also find that people who are fearful avoidant, they may have multiple fears. Instead of making your person feel humiliated about their fears, I would try to be understanding and helpful of those fears. If a guy like I had a guy to tell me, I've had multiple guys that tell me that they're afraid of snakes. I don't make fun of them for it. I don't say, oh my gosh, you're a dude, you shouldn't be afraid of snakes. I would never do that. I'm like, it's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, being afraid of a snake. So you don't want to make your person feel bad for whatever their fears are. You want them to be able to open up to you about any and everything. Now, that doesn't mean that you harp on it every chance you get and say, let's talk about that you're afraid of snakes. It's okay. You don't have, I wouldn't bring it up. But if they bring it up, just be a good listener. Be okay with it. A lot of times, fearful avoidants have multiple things that they are afraid of. So I want you to think of some of those things that you're afraid of. And yes, it may be nearly impossible to get over those fears, like if you're afraid of heights. But you have to climb some tall stairs one day. Instead of saying, I feel so dumb, I feel so embarrassed, I feel so stupid, I feel so humiliated. Instead of saying that, you can say, I'm doing the best I can. And I'm proud of myself that I walked up those stairs. And, it's okay that I feel the way that I do. Because what happens is you go into fearful mode and avoidant mode at the same time. And they're fighting against each other. And so it's hard to just tell the truth and say, I don't like what I'm about to have to do. I don't want to have to climb up those stairs. I don't like it. I feel uncomfortable with it. Practice telling yourself the truth instead of, I feel so stupid. I feel so humiliated. Why am I like this? I just can't stand this about myself. This is so hard. Like, I don't want to go to that event. I feel social anxiety going to that birthday party. And I really don't want to go. And I feel humiliated. You know what? Sometimes maybe just don't go. Like, it's not your thing. Why do we all have to be like everyone else? If you don't like parties, it's okay to not like parties. Even if everyone else likes the party, there are things about them that you're better at than they are. And a lot of people they don't make apologies for what they want to do and what they don't want to do. There are people out there who are takers and not givers, and they have no problem with taking everybody's handouts and never helping anyone. You never hear them apologize for that. So why should you apologize for something that you genuinely don't like to do? I think that's a way for you to start healing, believe it or not, from your fearful avoidance, is saying, you know what? I'm doing the best that I can. Yes, I do feel embarrassed, but I'm doing the best I can with this right now. And I can't wait to get this over with. It's just about being honest with yourself instead of going into complete shame mode. It's okay to feel what you feel. So I want you to practice that. That's a great way to get ready for your mate, because with your mate, you are going to need to be honest about some things. Doesn't mean that you have to be honest with, like tell them everything. You can keep some things to yourself, especially if it doesn't impact them. You don't have to tell them every single thing. You can keep some things private. But when there's something that's going to impact them, then it's okay to say, hey, I'm struggling with this. This is hard for me. And like I said, if you have a fearful avoidant in your life, please be understanding and not, you can help them get over it quicker by not shaming them or telling them, oh, that's so dumb. Like, you don't want to climb up those stairs. That's just, come on now. Or that's just a little puppy. It's not going to hurt you. That is not going to help. But if you say, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to block. I'm going to hold this puppy and you run past and I'm going to hold him until you get to the car. Now that's romantic. Your fearful avoidant could be the best romantic partner you've ever had. And I'm just telling you the truth. And they're already dealing with a lot. They're trying to overcome a lot. And so they really want to find their safe space, because when they find that place, then some of the anxiety can start to dissipate and they can start having fun and you can be their hero. So why not be that hero or that safe, loving, feminine woman who they are going to just adore and they can't wait to get home to you, because this is my safe space as much as possible. And it doesn't mean that you can never have conflict or that you can't ever be in a grumpy, grouchy mood, but preference it. Just say, I'm feeling like a grouch and I don't want to take it out on you. So would you mind if I have like 5 minutes? And if I am a grouch to you, I'm apologizing in advance because I don't want to be mean to you. I don't. And practice forgiveness. Nobody in a relationship is perfect, including you. So practice forgiveness. I'm not talking about big things. I'm talking about the small things, because that's what usually gets in our way, right? Okay, so just let's take advantage of the singleness so that we can be the person and ready for our person, because they deserve it and it can make our relationship easier than if we don't do any work on ourselves. Then it's going to make it harder, because the way relationships are made anyway is to bring out some of your junk and heal from it. Let us know what your attitude is towards singleness, and be sure to subscribe so that we can continue hanging out together. I'm a fearful avoidant, so I don't want you to leave. So hit the subscribe button. And if you need more help with your relationship, I've got you covered. I wrote a book called Flip the Script on Love, and it's going to help you. And I'm scared of narcissists, believe it or not. And so I wrote a book about it, and I want to share it with you so that you can understand how to handle them as well. And I wrote a book called From ENFJ with Love. It's all about the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types. I think it's a fun read too. And all of these are by Tamara Hunter, Zyon, and they're on Amazon right now. So check them out while you can. And I hope, fingers crossed, that I see you on the next video. Bye.